You're listening to Productivity Straight Talk with your host, Amber De La Garza. She is passionate, direct, and sometimes a little sarcastic, but always gives you what you need to succeed in business. Now, here's your host, Amber De La Garza, the Productivity Specialist.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to Productivity Straight Talk. Today is episode 27, Pushing Past Your Breaking Point. If you are an entrepreneur who wants to take consistent, massive, focused action in your business and life, then you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you've joined me. To start today's episode off, I have a few questions for you. Do you feel like you never have time to take breaks? Do you eat at your desk, if you eat at all? Do you try to get something done in every spare moment that you get? Or do you find yourself losing the ability to focus and then initiate distractions such as Facebook, checking email, and chatting with colleagues just to amuse yourself? Have you pushed past your productive zone and feel like if I just keep going, it'll all work out, but only to find out that you're working much more inefficient and making more errors? How about working until you crash and burn at the end of your workday? If any of these statements hold true for you, chances are the culprit is your diminished energy level because you don't take the time to take breaks to refuel yourself. My goal today is for you to realize the necessity of taking breaks and how you can fit them into your schedule so that you can work on your important task with focus and efficiency while not risking burnout. In today's episode, you are going to discover why daily breaks is an absolute necessity for entrepreneurs. Tips for making time for breaks when you just don't have the time. The types of breaks that relax you, refuel you, energize you, and help you refocus. A proven method of successfully creating effective work break cycles. So let's dive right in and get straight to it. Who has time for a break? Not me. I am certain you have said some version of that phrase to yourself more often than you would like. Perhaps you feel that to be most productive, the best choice is often to work right through the day, putting in a straight 8 to 12 hours consistently, eating at your desk, and working right through all possible breaks. I mean, come on. Who really has time for a break? There are things to get done, clients to meet, tasks to complete, people to call, and emails to respond to. You have so much to do to run your business, let alone grow it. I completely understand. Your thought process for not taking breaks is rational. However, you do have the time to take breaks. And not only do you have the time, you need to take breaks to be more productive. Who has time for breaks? You do. Productivity is about getting the right things done, and you need to be able to concentrate on those activities as well as have the endurance to complete them. Breaks re-energize you and enable you to focus, which leads to increased productivity. You may have already created a bad habit of not taking breaks, and that's okay, but it's time for a change. Break that bad habit and create healthy new ones in its place. I'm going to start by answering the question, how do breaks actually increase productivity? Well, first, breaks enable focus. Taking breaks enables you to focus and maintain a higher level of concentration, which in turn creates efficiency and productivity. When your energy is low, it is typically because you have not been giving yourself sufficient breaks to carry on. Not taking breaks lowers your willpower and tends to make everything else seem more exciting than what you are working on at the present moment. Not taking breaks also makes it easy to fall prey to distractions. You may not be aware you need an actual break, but you know you can no longer focus on the task at hand. This is when the temptation to take phone calls, read text messages, or check emails consistently is strongest. You want to feel like you're still making progress despite your lack of willpower and energy level, so you find other activities to occupy your time. Number 2, breaks refuel your body for added energy. Taking a break helps refuel your body and provide much needed energy. Breaks involving eating a healthy snack, drinking water, stretching, or getting a little exercise will create additional energy your body physically desires. More energy means you will have the endurance to work more focused and efficiently throughout your day. Taking breaks goes a long way towards increased productivity with little effort because doing so directly affects your energy levels. Despite your motivation to keep going, when you refrain from taking breaks, you lose steam and eventually the willpower to continue. When that happens, a task that should have only taken 15 minutes could take you 30 minutes or longer. Working more efficiently by giving yourself breaks as necessary to regain the focus and energy needed to complete tasks in less time. Taking breaks does not mean you're lazy. Taking breaks does not mean that you think your work is boring. When you decide to take a purposeful break, you are making the choice to refuel and re-energize so you can return to your work refreshed and with a renewed focus. Stop denying yourself breaks. A few minutes away from your work could add up to hours of increased productivity. Next, I'm going to share with you my top tips for making time for breaks. So no more saying you don't have time for breaks. Here it is. Number 1, do not overbook yourself. Your schedule needs some buffer room in between appointments, and I call this white space. If you're consistently booking your appointments back to back to back to back with little to no buffer room, you're setting yourself up for failure. Meetings often run late, unexpected phone calls ring, and employees request your attention. Plan for the unexpected demands of your time by adding in buffer room to your schedule. Otherwise, you will find yourself working through all of the potential time for breaks. So, number 1 was do not overbook yourself. This is actually a great productivity tip in general. White space is your friend. You do not need to book every waking hour, every hour of time you have in the office to work. You have to be able to be flexible with the things that are inevitably going to come up in your business. And if you do not plan for those things that are going to inevitably come up in your business, then if you did plan a lunch or you did plan a break, you're going to work right through it because the temptation is just too high, which leads me to number 2, block out breaks on your calendar. I find it very helpful to actually block out breaks on my calendar. And if you need it, set an alarm that pops up that actually stops you from working to remind you that it's break time or that it's lunch time. Even block out your lunch so that you can visually see the time set that you are going to have for your meals. With a lunch scheduled, you will have an easier time scheduling tasks around the necessary breaks and better chance of actually eating. If you look at my schedule, I have an hour blocked out for lunch. Now, does an hour actually happen all the time? No, sometimes a meeting might run over or I gotta get an email out. But at the very least, I'm getting 30 to 45 minutes. And by blocking that time on my schedule, I'm setting it as a priority to ensure that I do take my lunch breaks. Also, it allows that if other people have access to my calendar and they're booking appointments for me, that they see that is a priority for me to have lunch and not to book during those times. I get a lot of requests for my time. And if I don't have lunch on there, I see it as white space and I might not have it at the forefront of my mind that I actually need to stop and take a break. So you will find that my breaks are definitely on my calendar because they're a priority for me so that I can be refueled for the rest of the day. Number 3, plan ahead for meals. Plan out what you're going to eat ahead of time so that you're not tempted to keep working through mealtime. Everyone's natural tendency to go toward the path of least resistance applies here too. Breaking for lunch, thinking about what you need to eat, and making or going to go get food seems like too much of a hassle for many people. If you find that too often to be the case for you, make the effort to prepare and pack your lunch the night before. Doing so enables you to eat an already prepared lunch at your desk, not desirable, but at least you can, or on the road between appointments with little hassle during your work day, thus giving your body the energy and fuel it needs. You can even go one step further and prep your meals for the entire week in just one day, which will save you tons of time by batching. I hate thinking about what I'm going to eat. The idea of stopping what I'm doing, stopping my work, and being like, what am I going to eat? Where am I going to go? I have to run out from the office, or I got to stop and make a meal is just too much for me. So I think this is a great tip. Plan ahead so that when you take your break, it's just about relaxation, re-energizing, giving your body what it needs. Number 4, find the best break method. I'm going to give you some recommendations on different break methods, but it really truly is up to you to find the method that works best for you. The Pomodoro technique for taking breaks involves completing 20 minutes of work followed by a 5-minute break. After completing 25-minute cycles 4 times, you then take a longer 15 to 30-minute break. The Pomodoro technique is a favorite of many, but another method may work better for you. For me, the Pomodoro method does not work, and that will probably be an entire different episode. I actually have been taking some notes on what I think that episode would be. However, on the flip side, I have some people that are raving about about it. So you can take advantage of the Pomodoro technique there's tons of apps and programs online available to help you keep track of your work break cycles so that you can establish a routine of taking breaks effectively. There's also a science behind your ultradian rhythm says that the human brain can only focus for 90 minutes before it needs a break. Therefore, it is recommended to take scheduled breaks at least every 90 minutes to best align with your natural rhythms and cycle in your body. And if those two methods aren't working for you, then you can practice traditional corporate breaks at the bare minimum, such as taking a typical 15-minute break mid-morning, 30 to 60-minute lunch break, and a 15-minute break mid-day. Here's what I want to leave you with. I really don't know that there's one right way to take breaks. In fact, I know that there's not one right way. But I want you to find the best method for you, and that may take trial and error and practicing and seeing what works and what doesn't work. So here I'm just telling you that you need to find your best method for taking breaks and then be consistent with it. Number 5, be creative. Taking a break does not have to mean sitting at your desk watching the timer tick away while twiddling your thumbs until the time to work again has come. I mean, really, none of us would do that. But what does your ideal break look like? What is it that you'd want to do that could refuel you, re-energize you? Consider a break to be engaging in anything that relaxes, re-energizes you, or enables increased focus afterwards. To help us get creative, I decided to ask my friend Mariah Secrest Comer to record some of her best ideas for taking breaks that can help us relax, refuel, re-energize, and refocus us so that we can be more productive. Take it away, Mariah.
What's up, Productivity Straight Talk? This is Mariah with Wealthy Boss, here with some ideas for simple work breaks that you can take that will improve your health. Now, the first one seems super simple and it's nothing fancy, but it's so important. We need to do more of it. And that's just get up and take a walk. Now, you may have heard the phrase, sitting is the new smoking. And it's true. Studies actually show that people who work out an hour a day, but then sit for 6 to 8 hours or more at their desk throughout the day are still at a high risk for heart disease. But an easy way to combat this is to get up and take a 5-minute walk every hour. And that will overcome a lot of the adverse effects of sitting. Pretty simple, right? My next tip is to try meditation. Now, meditation can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but it doesn't have to be scary or intimidating. The most basic form of meditation for you might just be sitting and taking deep breaths. Perhaps you're doing this while listening to a nature app, soothing sounds that will help calm your nervous system, like Relax Melodies, which is my favorite. Or maybe you prefer a guided meditation if you have a little bit of trouble focusing your thoughts. This can be a great entry-level option for someone who just doesn't know how to sit quietly. I personally love the app Buddhify. And what I particularly love about the Buddhify app is you can actually choose the meditation based on your circumstances. And yes, they even have meditations specifically for work breaks. My next option is to stretch. Stretching is so important for those of us who sit at desks all day. We can get incredibly tight in our upper shoulders, in our low backs, and in our front hip flexors. So whatever type of stretching we can do will help combat the postural imbalances that we can bring about as a result of sitting too long. Now, my final tip for you might sound a little funny, but it has so many health benefits for you. And that's get upside down. What? That's right. In yoga, it's referred to as inversions. An inversion is any time that your legs are higher than your heart. Now, scientifically, this has so many benefits for you, including cardiovascular benefits because you are reversing the flow of the circulatory system. It has a fantastic impact on your immune system. And that's because getting upside down stimulates the flow of the lymphatic system. Now, your lymphatic system, a little bit unlike your blood flow, actually only has a one-way valve, meaning that you have to move around to stimulate it. So stimulating that lymphatic system can help keep you free of those colds and the winter illnesses that come about that can couch you from your work. So definitely a great idea to be practicing, particularly in the winter months. Getting upside down can also relieve lower back and leg pain and can help you feel refreshed by oxygenating your blood. Now, inversions can be be fancy, like headstands and handstands and some of those more advanced postures that we tend to think of in yoga. But for your work break, I might recommend a safer and more restorative practice, which is super simple, requires zero skill, and that's to just simply lie on the floor next to a wall. You want to take your seat as close as possible to the base of the wall, and then you're just going to simply rest your legs so that their feet are pointing up towards the sky. Rest your legs up the wall and stay there, breathing deeply for about 3 to 5 minutes. I can't wait to see which of these tips you implement and how it impacts how you feel in your work. Because when you invest in your health, you're actually going to be more productive. But that's also a super virtuous cycle. When you learn to be more productive and manage your time and rituals better, then you're also more able to be consistent with your health. Thanks for listening to My Healthy Tips.
Aren't those some amazing ideas from Mariah? If you missed it, Mariah and I did an episode together last week, episode 26, Why Fitness for Entrepreneurs is Essential for Success Professionally and Personally. If you loved her tips today and enjoyed our last episode together, then you are going to love the special masterclass Mariah is doing this week on Tuesday, November 14th, just for you, our Productivity Straight Talk listeners. So if you are listening to this and you want in, and I know you do, then you can go to wealthyboss.com/Amber. And again, that's spelled wealthy, WELLTHY, boss, BOSS.com/Amber. And it's there that you can register for this masterclass and join us tomorrow, November 14th, and learn all about how you can take back your fitness, how fitness will affect your productivity, how fitness will help you grow your business. And if you simply don't feel like you have the time for breaks, I'm sure you don't feel like you have the time to take care of your health and your fitness. And this masterclass is going to show you easy steps that you can take with the least amount of time input to get the biggest results. So join us over at wealthyboss.com/Amber, and let's hear what Mariah has to say all about getting us healthy as entrepreneurs. Now, I want you to pause for just a moment. Think about it. How long have you been sitting at your desk? 10 minutes? 3 hours? Did you eat healthy today or make a run to the vending machine? When was the last time you took a break? If you are like many well-meaning entrepreneurs, you push yourself to the max, working as hard as you can for as long as you can. I get it. I understand. You wind up, though, not taking care of yourself as you should, and your work suffers. You can't possibly keep burning the steam without adding coal to your fire. You need to power up your body. Taking breaks is a necessary part of refueling your system, and doing so causes increased productivity. Exactly what you need to accomplish more and maximize your success. When you are working on a project with an upcoming deadline, or you're just feeling the pressure of your daily hustle, you may not think that you have time to take a break. The truth is, you do. The truth is that your mind and body require breaks to work efficiently. Working through your day without taking breaks only harms your productivity, not helps it. It may seem logical to equate working longer with accomplishing more, but research proves that that is not the case. Each time your body says, give me a break, give in to the urge. Refuel, relax, re-energize, and then return to your work refocused so that you can work on your important tasks with the utmost efficiency. Why I have loved having you listen to Productivity Straight Talk, I need to be straight with you. No change, no change. Without taking action, nothing is going to change for you or your business. So based on what you learned today, what are you going to take action on? Seriously, this is the time that I want you to take a moment to reflect. Are you committing to blocking out your breaks onto your calendar, or setting an alarm when you start a project to say, now it's time to take a break? Are you going to implement the Pomodoro technique? Are you going to schedule in 15 minutes in the morning and a 30-minute lunch break? What can you do to ensure that you're taking consistent breaks? And then not only taking breaks, but taking breaks with some of the tips that Mariah shared with us. Are you going to do activities, eat healthy, drink water? What are you going to do during your breaks? Knowing that ahead of time will ensure that your breaks are most productive use of your time. I would love for you to share your actionables with me, and you can do that by joining our private productivity community. You can do that by going to productivitycommunity.com, and I will send you a special invitation to our private Facebook community, where it's in there that we engage with other like-minded entrepreneurs and we support each other with our challenges, with our successes, with our wins. I've created this community because I believe that we need it. I believe that this needs to be a place in where we feel that we can go to get resources and learn how to actually take action on what we've learned. I don't want productivity to be just something that we talk about or something that you listen to on a podcast. I want you to take focused action in your life and business to be most productive so that you can go after your goals like you never have before. After all, that is why I do what I do. I love seeing entrepreneurs get after their goals. And you know, this podcast is a one-way conversation, so I would love to take it and make it a two-way conversation with myself and other people in our community. And you can do that by going to productivitycommunity.com. Okay, and before we close it out today, I just want to remind you that Mariah is doing a masterclass, The Busy Entrepreneur's Boss Body Shortcuts. Build a lean body plus spike your energy. That's the masterclass tomorrow, November 14th at 9 a.m. And you can register and save your seat by going to wealthyboss.com/Amber. And again, that's wealthy, WELLTHY, boss.com. I cannot wait to see you over there. It's going to be absolutely amazing and beneficial if you currently do not have the time to invest in yourself. Again, you may have listened last week, but let me tell you, I have an affirmation that says, I invest in myself because the return on investment is priceless. So what action will you take to invest in yourself? I hope you join us over at the Masterclass. Until next time, make it a productive week.